That Bhagavad Gita is a scripture. A scriptural textbook is like a mirror. It reflects the reader who is reading it. You bring what you bring in your mind, you can read it in the Bhagavad Gita. Suppose you are atheist, you will say that Bhagavad Gita is talking pure atheist. If you are a revolutionary, read it. Bhagavad Gita is saying, get up and fight. That is what Bhagavad Gita says. That is the only thing you will understand. A karma yogi reads, it is karma. A bhakta reads, 18 chapters is only bhakti. Because it is a scripture, it reflects what you bring into it. You see in it what is there in your mind itself.
Study this Gita, live Gita, teach Gita, propagate Gita. What is the really message or teaching of Vedanta or Gita? Is it to look at your life as a whole and live a whole life. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that.
Because Bhagavad Gita is so vast in its implications, so deep in its treasures, that really speaking, you can extract anything out of it. Just anything. That's the beauty of the Bhagavad Gita.
कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागेनैके अमृतत्वमानसु परेण नाकं निहितं गुहायां विप्राजते यत्यतयो विशन्ति वेदान्तविज्ञानसुनिश्चितार्थाः सन्न्यासयोगाद्यतयः शुद्धसत्त्वाः ते ब्रह्मलोकेषु परान्तकाले परामृतात् परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे दहरं विपापं परमेश्वरभूतं यत्पुण्डरीकं पुरमद्य सङ्गस्थं तत्रापि दहरं गगनं विशोकस्तस्मिन् यदन्तः सदुपासितव्यं यो वेदादो स्वरप्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य यः परः स महेश्वरः न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकम् नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः त्वमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वम् तस्य भाषा सर्वमिदं विभाति। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। साकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुदेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत् सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सर्वश्रुतिशिरोरत्न विराजितः शाश्वतः शान्तः व्योमातीतो निरञ्जनः बिन्दुनादकलातीतः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ज्ञानशक्तिसमारूढः तत्त्वमाला विभूषितः मुक्तिमुक्तिप्रदाता च तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्म सम्प्राप्त कर्मबन्धविदायिने आत्मज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। शोषणं भवसिन्धोश्च ज्ञापनं सारसम्पदः गुरोपादोदकं सम्यक् तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानात् परं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। मन्नाथः श्रीजगन्नाथः मद्गुरुः श्रीजगद्गुरुः मदात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुरादिरनादिश्च गुरुपरमदैवतं गुरोपरं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं गुरुदेव देव। बोधितां भगवतां नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिनां मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीं अष्टादशाध्यायिनीं अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दाय कपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रमैत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृततुले नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला सव्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला। अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तक केशव। पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम् गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाज्ञानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम्। लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः एपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमला प्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः परमात्मने नमः अथ नवमोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच इदं तु ते गुह्यतमं प्रवक्ष्याम्यनसूयवे ज्ञानं विज्ञानसहितं यज्ञात्वा मोक्षसे शुभात् राजविद्या राजगुह्यं पवित्रमिदमुत्तमम् प्रत्यक्षावगमं धर्म्यं सुसुखं कर्तुमव्ययम् अश्रद्धमानाः पुरुषाः धर्मस्यास्य परन्तप अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते मृत्युसंसारवर्त्मनि मया तदमिदं सर्वं जगदव्यक्तमूर्तिना मत्स्थानि सर्वभूतानि न चाहं देशवस्थितः न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम् भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थः मात्मा भूतभावनः यदाकाशस्थितो नित्यं वायुः सर्वत्र यो महान् तदा सर्वाणि भूतानि मत्स्थानीत्युपधारय सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकां कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम् प्रकृतिं स्वामवस्तभ्य विसृजामि पुनः पुनः भूतग्राममिमं कृत्स्नम् अवशं प्रकृतेर्वशात् न च मां तानि कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय उदासीनवदासीनम् असक्तं तेषु कर्मसु मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिः सूयते सचराचरम् हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय जगद्विवर्तते अवजानन्ति मां मूढाः मानुषं तममाश्रितं परं भावमजानन्तः मम भूतामहेश्वरम् मोगाशामोगकर्माणः मोगज्ञानाविचेतसः राक्षसीमासुरीं चैव प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रिताः महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवी प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्त्यनन्यमनसः ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम् सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां यतन्तश्च विपदभक्ताः नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या नित्ययुक्ता उपासते ज्ञानयज्ञेन चाप्यङ्गे यजन्तो मामुपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम् अहं प्रदुरहं यज्ञः स्वराहमहमौषधम् मन्त्रोऽहमहमेवाज्यम् अहमग्निरहं भूतम् पितामहस्य जगतः माता दाता पितामहः वेद्यं पवित्रमोङ्कारः ऋक्सामयजुरेव च गतिर्भक्ता प्रभुः साक्षी निवासः शरणं सुहृत् प्रभवः प्रलयस्थानं निधानं बीजमव्ययम् तवाम्यहमहं वर्षं निगृह्णामृत प्रत्युषामि च अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च सदसचाहमर्जुन त्रैविद्यमां सोमपापा यज्ञैस्त्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते ते पुण्यमासाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम् अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देव भोगान् एतं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालम् क्षीणे पुण्ये मध्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्ममनुप्रपन्ना गदागदं कामकामा लभन्ते अनन्याः चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जना पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम् ये यदेवता भक्ताः यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्त्यविधिपूर्वकम् अहं हि सर्वयज्ञानां भोक्ता च प्रभुरेव च न तु मामभिजानन्ति तत्त्वेनास्तस्य मन्तिके यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् तिरुयान्ति तिरुव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्यः यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम् पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति तदाहं भक्त्युपकृतम् अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः यत्करोषि यदश्नासि यज्जुहोषि ददासि यत् यत्तपस्य कौन्तेय तत्कुरुष्वमदर्पणम् शुभाशुभफलैरेवम् मोक्ष्यसे कर्मबन्धनैः सन्न्यासयोगयुक्तात्मा विमुक्तो मामुपैष्यसि समोऽहं सर्वभूतेषु न मे द्वेष्योऽस्ति न प्रियः ये भजन्ति तु मां भक्त्या मयि ते तेषु चाप्यहम् अतिथेषु सुराचारः भजते मामनन्यभाक् साधुरेव समन्तव्यः सम्यक् व्यवसितो हि सः क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा शान्तिं निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्तः प्रणश्यति मां हि पादव्यपाश्रित्य येऽपि स्युः पापयोनयः स्त्रियो वैश्यास्तथा शूद्राः तेऽपि यान्ति परां गतिम् किं पुनर्ब्राह्मणाः पुण्याः भक्ता राजर्षयस्तथा अनित्यमसुखं लोकम् इमं प्राप्य भजस्व मां मन्मना भव मद्भक्तः मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैष्यसि युक्त्वैवम् आत्मानं मत्परायणः ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे राजविद्या राजगुह्यो नाम नवमोऽध्यायः। सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।
श्री गणेशाय नमः। श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्. So my job is to summarize, right? So all of you have gone through the 9th chapter. So you know what is 9th chapter. Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yoga. The first 3 verses are introduction to the chapter. Bhagavan promises that he will give Arjuna what is Jnanam and Vijnanam. Now what is Jnanam? General knowledge. What is Vijnanam? Direct experience. Suppose you want to go to Kailas, Manasarovar, you read about it, get all the pictures, video, etc. You know everything about it, what are the height and what are the preparations. This is called Jnanam. But unless you go there and experience, it will not become Vijnanam. This is one level of understanding Jnanam Vijnanam. But that, when we look at the creation, we know there is a power behind it, because I have not created the world, nor my grandfather, or people put together have created this world. There must be a power behind. This is called Jnana. Now what is Vijnanam? What is the nature of that power? Inquiry into that nature of that power and discovering that that power is all-pervasive, is everywhere. This understanding becomes Vijnanam. That is level number 2. Now level number 3. This understanding that that power is all-pervasive is only Jnana. That is not Vijnanam. What is Vijnanam? The all-pervasive Lord, if He is all-pervasive, He has to be with me. This understanding seems to be Vijnanam. But Vedanta goes a step further. That knowing that Paramatma is with me is only Jnana. But what is Vijnanam? I am that Lord. He is considered Vijnanam. Now this is what Bhagavan is promising in the 9th chapter. Then the 4th and 5th verses, Bhagavan summarizes the entire Vedantic teaching. Maya kadamitam sarvam jagadavyakthamuktina mastani sarvabhutani nacha mastani. A very important verse in Gita. I pervade the entire creation in my unmanifest form. So Bhagavan is present everywhere. So we can understand that Bhagavan is present in you and me, because we are sentient. Then the question comes, what about the space in between? Whether he is present or not, he is present in the form of Sat, existence. You say, I am speaking, you are listening. and the space is the one that is carrying the sound. And in this space, how many sound waves are there? Billions and trillions. How many people are using the cell phone? All of them are traveling in space, isn't it? But none of us are disturbed. Think about that. So, there is a person or power that is helping us to communicate. So the presence of Lord is in space also. So, but unseen to our eyes. Unseen to our eyes because He is the very subject. So, Maya tatamitam sarvam yagat avyakta muktina. This much is okay. But then Bhagavan contradicts. Mastani sarva bhutani nacha mastani. They are in me, I am not in them. This is where the problem is. So how can that be? The entire creation is in me, but I am not in the creation. So this is where we have to understand. This is from a different standpoint. That ocean says, even though all the waves are in me, but I am not in the wave means I am not dependent upon the wave. Waves are dependent upon me, but I am not dependent upon the waves for my existence. This is what Bhagavan meant by saying, Nacha mastani, I am not in them. Then the following verse is still more confusing. In fact, I tell you, nothing is in me. Even the creation is not in me. Now this is little difficult, but Shankaracharya writes commentary for our sake. What is creation? We have Parinamavada, Vivartavada. There are two vadas are there. Parinama means modification. Bhagavan modified itself to become the world. This is one theory. But there are so many problems, like milk becoming curd. Then what happens? The curd cannot become milk back again. So moksha is not possible. Once it is modified, then it has become different form, that it cannot change back into its original form. So that is a problem with Parinamavada. But Vedanta talks about Vivartavada. Without undergoing any change, appears to be different. This is called Vivartavada. Our famous example is rope and snake. Without rope and snake, you cannot speak Vedanta. Okay? Now, transport yourself at the level of rope. You say there is a snake. The rope says, where is snake? So from the standpoint of rope, there is no snake. But I see snake, that's your problem. The rope says that is not my problem. That's what Bhagavan says. So in fact, from my standpoint, so all these experiences in the world is from different level of existence. Scientists say that two-dimensional, three-dimensional, four-dimensional existence, right? The same way, now we are standing upon the earth. When we look at the sun, it is rising in the horizon. Now, if you go to this, what we call North Pole, what is your observation of sunrise? Sun doesn't set there. It's always there. Suppose you go to moon, your vision about sunrise and sunset changes completely. So all our experiences are depending upon from where, which platform we look at. So from the platform of our physical body, when we look at this world, it gives you name, objects, relations, etc. But you shift your vision, standpoint or platform from the standpoint of consciousness, Paramatma. That, from that standpoint, if you look at it, this body, mind, intellect, ego, all of them are transitory. You don't say it doesn't exist. As long as you see it, it is there. But it has got a temporary existence. That is why in deep sleep, we are not even aware of our body. Not even aware of where we are sleeping, isn't it? Before sleeping, all kinds of comfort we see. Once you sleep, what happened? What happened to the comforter? It is on the floor. So from the standpoint of Paramatma, he says the world also is not there. Then Bhagavan talked about the creation. Mayadhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya. So, in my presence, the prakriti means mula prakriti creates this world. Now creation is also what was there in the mula prakriti, in the unmanifest form, he brings out into manifest form. That's why Brahmaji, whatever was there, he remembered, he made it manifest. So creation actually is a misnomer. What with creation is nothing but bringing out what was unmanifest to manifest state. This is creation. Now Bhagavan touch upon that mokasha, mokakarmana, mokajnana. So that is elaborated in 16th chapter. So the seed of 16th chapter is here in the 9th chapter. So people have, because of this, avajananditam mudhaha, manushantarmasuni. So having identified with this body, they do not know my higher nature. When you do not know, it's not that Bhagavan is telling, each one of us has to say. Bhagavan is telling for our sake. But each one of us, we have to say, we have these two levels of existence. One is the higher level, another is a lower level. And we can see that also, we are a combination of these two. One is sentiency, another is inertness, isn't it? We are a combination of these two. Our body is inert, insentient. If any doubt, you go to the morgue, you can see. That body is, you may be very sacred to your father, but then he doesn't speak, he doesn't respond. So what makes that body enliven? That enlivening factor is Paramatma. And what is the inert matter which is made up of Panchabhutas, Akasha, Vayu, Rakti, Rava, Prithvi, these 5 elements, they are inert by nature. A combination is not possible logically. That's why in Adhyasa Bhashya, Brahma Sutra Adhyasa Bhashya, Shankaracharya writes this. Yushmat asmat pratyayoho vishaya vishinoho tamaprakashavade viruddha subhavatva itaretana bhavanam anvapattau. Even though they are contradictory in nature, one is sentient, another is insentient. A combination is not possible logically, but a combination is brought about. What? That is called Maya. Akatita katana padiyasi Maya. That which is impossible, it made it possible. So therefore, our higher nature is not known to us. Therefore, what happened? We develop ego, raga, dveshas, the 5 afflictions I told you in the class there. One is ignorance, another is ego, third is raga, fourth is dvesha, fifth one is abhinivesh, fear of death. These are the 5 afflictions we suffer. Why? Without knowing our opposite nature. What is our opposite nature? Ananda Sarupa. That Ananda Sarupa, when it is not known, but can we keep quiet? It's okay. Let us forget about it. This is life. Can you keep quiet? No. Our whole life we are searching for it. Consciously or unconsciously we are searching for it. That is why whatever you achieve in this life, materially, look at our President Trump, how much he has amassed wealth, what power he has got, but still he is not happy. Why? Because directly or indirectly, not his mistake. This is the nature of human being. Whatever be your achievement in the material world, this incomplete, the sense of incompleteness will haunt you. So unless we know our real nature, the higher nature, and establish in that, our search continues. This seems to be our Gurudev used to say, this is a manufacturer's defect. Because we are born with it. Why? Because if we are happy with the incomplete nature, we should have been contented with that. But it is not so. Until we, that's why our Gurudev used to explain about each human being, each one of us, we have only 3 problems. Only 3 problems. No, Swami, I have so many problems. But main thing, only 3 problems. What is that? First one is, I want to live a day more. Nobody wants to die today. Suppose 99-year-old man struggling, he himself says, "Marna hi acha hai." He wants to die. Suppose you ask him, "Can I help you?" What will he say? "Not today, tomorrow." Why? Because we are born with this desire. What is that? As though we have a desire to be permanent, eternal. Why? Because eternity is our original nature. Until we get that, we will continue our search. The next problem is what? I don't want to be ignorant. Nobody wants to be ignorant. Why are you looking at the newspaper and the YouTube, CNN news? Not that you are going to solve the world problem. But we want to know what is going on. Why? Nobody wants to brook ignorance. Nobody likes to be ignorant. Why we have parties? Friday evening, Saturday evening parties. We want to know what is going on in the society. What else we talk there? Suppose you go there and talk Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter. Anybody will call you next time for party. They will avoid you, isn't it? But this interest in knowing, this is a natural thing. Why? Our nature is knowledge. Third one is Ananda. I want to be happy. Now, we are all happy. Okay? We are not saying we are bad or we are sad or all the time. No. We are all happy people. But this happiness is short-lived. See, our Gurudev had this habit of taking a cup of coffee after breakfast. Early morning he will have a cup of tea. But after breakfast he wants real Madras coffee, filtered coffee. One day he was enjoying his coffee and he just looked at us and said, "Who said there is no happiness in worldly objects?" Nobody said yes or no. He never said no. Then he finished his coffee as he was entering to his room, turned around and said, "But it is temporary." So all our happinesses are created happiness. There is always a reason. Why are you happy? There is a reason. Husband is behaving properly. Children are also behaving properly. Our health is okay. And our house also, everything is working. There is no plumbing problem or other problem, electrical problem, nothing is there. So all these things are working. Circumstantially, everything is okay. I am happy. So there are so many factors are required for our unit of happiness. It's also created happiness. Working place also, the boss is not giving me problem, or our colleagues are not, fighting. All this atmosphere has to be perfect. Then we say we are happy. They're all created happiness. That's why in it is created. Priya, Moda, Pramoda. 3 levels. When you think about a desired object, thinking about it, there is a joy. Then when that object comes near you, there is a joy. Pramod, Moda. First is Priya, second is Moda. Then when you are enjoying it, it's called Pramoda. So therefore, all this happiness that we are experiencing is time-bound. Therefore, it is Adyantavantak Kaunteya Nateshu Ragate Buddha. Bhagavan said in Gita. It has got a beginning, it has got an end. Therefore, when it is ending, we feel bad, sorrowful. So that is not real Ananda. So we are seeking that permanent Ananda. What is that permanent Ananda? It is not a state of mind. We think that Ananda is a state of mind. That's why all the stress management program workshop you people attend after paying thousands of dollars. What is the problem? Because they think that the stress is at the level of the mind. Whereas our scriptures say, mind itself is not real. How can stress be real? The stress management theory, what is happening? They give validity to the stress. They consider it is a reality and then give you formulas and techniques to remove it or handle it or adjust it. And what happens? After adjusting, it may work for some time. Afterward, mind gets used to it. Like our allopathy medicines, you take half dose and afterwards full dose and then afterwards that doesn't work, then injection, like that. Why? Our system gets used to it. Bacteria are more intelligent than our discovery, isn't it? So, this Ananda is our Srupa. It is uncreated. Therefore, this is to be discovered. Not only discovered, it's to be owned. So these are the three problems. Why we are seeking these three? Because that is our real nature. That's why our nature is Satchidananda. This we do not know. Therefore, we get into all kinds of problems. Mokasha, Mokakarmana, Mokajnana, Chetasaha. False hope. What is the false hope? In the impermanent objects, we expect permanent happiness. It's called Mokasha. Then for that achievement of these uncertain things or false things, our activities also will be false. So this is a program. What this conversion has to take place. What is the conversion? From the religiously materialistic thought to become religiously spiritualistic thought. Materialistic mind has to change into spirituality. This conversion has to take place. That's what Bhagavan is hinting at there. Then Bhagavan talked about people who are ritualists. As a result of their punya, they go to heaven. Tetam bhuktva sadgulokam vishalam chine punye vartilokam vishanti. They enjoy their punya. It is something like you people work hard and earn some money and then go for a vacation. So like Europe, Italy, Venice and all those places you go for yatra. And how long you stay there? As long as your money is there. And suppose you go to Bahamas on a ship and there are this, slotting machine also there. The ship itself. Suppose you have exhaust all your money there, then what happens? You don't get down in Bahama, you come back. So also, heaven also, as long as your punya is there, you stay. Once punya is gone, you come back. It's also temporary. Even that is what Bhagavan wants to show. Everything in this creation is temporary. Then ananya chintayanto mam yajana paripasate tesham nityavittana yogatshemam aham vahami. It's a beautiful verse. Now, anya chinta. Right now, what is our chinta? Worldly chinta. So, more and more our mind should be thinking about Bhagavan. And also, our mind should be convinced that I want only Bhagavan, nothing else. That is the ultimate stage. Everything else will come to me once Bhagavan is there with me. This thought has to be entertained. The value for worldly things has to slowly reduce. The fallacy of it is to be seen. That's why in the Buddha Upanishad is Pariksha Lokan Karmajidan Vedamaya Brahmana Nastyagata Kritena Tattvityanatham Gurumeva Vigache Sutriyam Brahmanishtam Samitpani. All beautiful verses, mantras. Pariksha Lokan, Lokan Pariksha, experimenting the world. See, we all go through experience. It's not that we don't have bad experience or good experience. All of us we have. You have lived 40 years, 50 years. During this time, it is not always a red carpet treatment. Life has been up and down. But the problem for us is what? We forget. Somewhere it is a blessing also, but then, but what is the intelligent living? Intelligent living is every experience we have to learn a lesson. What is that message that we have to take? Only then you will grow. Otherwise our life becomes mechanical. Shankaracharya gives an example. A cow, when you see a green grass, it jumps the fence and starts grazing. And then owner of the house, seeing this, he will take a stick and start beating. And the cow run away after getting the beating. Next day the cow goes the same way. If you see the grass, does he remember yesterday I got beating, so I should not jump the fence? No, it will do the same thing. Why? It is an animal. But you and I are also doing the same thing. Isn't it? What is the difference? That's because we are not able to absorb the experiences. We live mechanically. That mechanicalness you have to break. It's a pariksha loka. Karma chidar, every karma, it is limited. The results are limited. The person performing the karma is limited. He can do only a limited time and place. And the result come also, it is limited. Then, nasti akrita kritena. What is that? Paramatma is something that you cannot create. Akritaha, uncreated. He is always there. It's not something that you have to create. So, you cannot create Brahman or Paramatma. It is already there. So, karma cannot. That's why, na karmana, na prajaya, na dhanena, tyage deke, amrutatva varasuhu. So, karma cannot produce that. This awareness, one who gets it, then Nirveda Maya, Vairagyam comes. This is what Bhagavan says. Bhagavan pointing out that the limitation of karma through the example of going to heaven. Yada gatam kama kama alapante. This book worth going and coming. Keep on going and coming. Where? Heaven. Heaven bound. It has to come to an end. For that, what is necessary? Ananya chintayam ma yajana parivasate. Tesham nityabhiktanam. But Swamiji, I keep on thinking about Bhagavan, what will happen to my wife and children. Bhagavan said, Yogakshevam aham vahami. What is your problem? Yoga and Kshema. These are the two. What is yoga? Apraptasya prapti yoga. Praptasya rakshanam Kshema. That which you don't have, you want to have. That's why you all came to this country, you made a list what all things you want. Everybody's list nowadays is not tick marked. Then what is the next step? How to protect it? Putting in that money should be kept in the right stock market or whatever. Safest place. That's a myth. There is no safe place. You saw our Trump's announcement of tariff, suddenly whole thing collapsed. $1 trillion, $2 trillion lost in the stock market. Yesterday you are a billionaire, today what happened? Swamiji, everything is gone. The fallacy of it we can see in this country. Today you are a millionaire, tomorrow you don't know. So this is our anxiety, how to protect it. Whole lifetime we are spending for this yoga adjustment. Yoga Kshema. Why are you worrying about it? You leave it to me. I take care of it. But suppose Bhagavan forgets, he has to take care of so many people. भूल गया तो क्या करें? This is our problem. He is taking care of the entire creation. How many jivas are there? How many species are there? All of their needs, Bhagavan is taking care of. Just leave it to Him. Have faith in Him. So this is called Ananya Chinta. But Bhagavan is unapproachable because the higher the person, difficult to reach. Suppose you want to get an audience with President, you have to go through so much formalities, isn't it? Same way, Bhagavan is the ultimate. How do we get an interview with Him? Bhagavan said, the easiest way. Patram pushpam palam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti bhavitam. See, it is difficult to please an unhappy person. See, our little children, it's very easy. You wrap up a pencil and give it to you, surprise! So they are so excited. The same child grows up to be a teenager. You try that. They will throw at you. The same child become a housewife. this girl get married, and then afterward, second wedding anniversary or third anniversary, the husband want to please her. He buy a diamond necklace, nice packet and all that, give it to her. Before opening it, she will ask, what is it? You open and see. No, tell me. She'll ask, this is a necklace. How much you paid? Then he will say this much. Why did you spend so much money? Suppose it is less, you think that I am worthless or what? Both way problem. 100 questions they will ask. Why? She is unhappy. A person who is unhappy, to make them happy is very difficult. But Bhagavan is reveling in Ananda to make him happy, simple things. You don't have to make a elaborate pomp and show to please Bhagavan. These are all your problems. Unless you offer only this, then Bhagavan is pleased, otherwise he will get angry. Who get angry? It is your problem. You are attributing anger to him. Unnecessary. Patram, even he didn't even use plural. Patrani he didn't say. Just one leaf. Pushpam, one flower. That also not available. Toyam, a drop of water. But what is more important? Bhaktya praise. So in all our puja, worship, what is more important, that is missing. Everything else, whether it is offered in silver plate or steel plate or what you call earthen pot, what does it matter? Bhagavan doesn't care that. Bhagavan wants what? Bhakti. Kannappa Nayanar, famous. He removed his eyes and what? How did he offer? In a leaf. There was no silver plate, golden plate, nothing. What was necessary? So that part we miss it. All the rituals I have noticed that people forget this main ingredient. Bhakti. Now what is bhakti? That is also you should know. It is not that closing your eyes and chanting mantras become bhakti. अरे वो तो memorize किया है, ये गड़ 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 एक बार शुरू किया बंद ही नहीं होता है. And they cannot stop unless they finish the whole list. They think that is bhakti. Aha. Real bhakti is seeing the presence of Lord. When you enter the sanctum sanctorum, you should not look at it as an idol sitting there. It is Bhagavan sitting there. That is called bhakti. I told you that example last time. Must have forgotten, so I can tell you again. One Mahatma gave a devotee, Ganesh Bhagavan, to worship. So he worshipped Ganesh Bhagavan for 6 months. Nothing happened. So he thought that I will worship Hanumanji. Because in our system we don't throw it away, we keep it there. That's why we end up in our puja, so many gods are. If a Christian fellow come and give you a cross, that also will put it. And usko bhi aarti dikhate. you don't care. Now, Hanumanji also he did puja 6 months, nothing happened. Then he thought, let us go to Lord Shiva. They got Lord Shiva, started doing worship. And he was showing the incense. The smoke was going to Hanumanji. He didn't like it. What it is I'm doing here is going here. So what he did, he took some cotton and inserted in his nose. The moment he plucked his nose, Hanumanji appeared. Now this man was surprised. When I was worshipping you 6 months, you didn't come. When I plucked your nose, you are coming. What is this? Hanumanji said, you worshipped me, that time you never took me for real. But when you plucked my nose, you thought that I'm smelling. And smelling the incense. That means you took me for real. Therefore I did. This is the whole secret of worship. Patram pushpam palam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tataham bhaktivartam asnati prayadamaya. Then Bhagavan gave promise also to all of us. Apichet suduracharaha papebhyam papakattama. People think that I have done lot of papas, therefore I am not qualified. This guilt will be there always. Swamiji, ye janam mein nahi hote. Agle janam mein dekhenge. Bhagavan removes that thought from our mind. Even if you have a doctorate, apichetsu sudurachara, sushtu durachara, means you have a doctorate in sinning. Even then, if you turn your mind towards the Lord, He will save you. That's why in Ramayana, Bhagavan Ramchandra says, even if he has killed thousands of Brahmana, Brahmahatya Papa, but once he comes and surrenders, I will make him fearless. So this promise Bhagavan gives many times in Gita. Don't think only in Christianity is there. You accept Christ, He will absolve all your sins. Bhagavan here says, last also Gita teaches, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam brahma. Aham tva sarva papebhya mokshayishyami ma shucha. Do not cry. Okay, with that we conclude. This is the essence of 9th chapter.
Samudra sa, hai So Swami, thank you so much for summarizing. This is one of the most beautiful chapters. So 9th chapter is in the middle of the entire Bhagavad Gita, the royal secret. So you have enlightened us, telling us the secret, why is it royal and how to experience it. We would like to thank you, and we wanted to share some of our study group members' experiences, how the journey began and how we have been able to benefit out of this, and perhaps that could probably answer Dr. Uday's question too. With that said, we want to start off with our chicks to share their experiences. Tanish and Teja, Rishi.
Hari Om, everyone. Thank you so much, Swamiji, for providing us with a valuable insight and just so much more than just the reality things that we deal with. One thing that kind of clicked with me early when we started with was the relation between jnana and vijnana. I'm playing golf, and it's a sport where some days you have it and some days you don't. And I don't know if that's me not having enough knowledge or me not having enough experience or performance. And a relation that I always get from that is this movie called The Legend of Bagger Vance. I don't know if anyone here has watched it. I highly recommend it. One of my favorite, best movies ever. And it's, for those of you who don't know, it's a movie that relates a golfer and his caddy to Arjuna and Bhagavan. Hence the name, The Legend of Bagger Vance, being Bhagavan, and the main character, Ralph Juna, being Arjuna. And 18 holes, 18 chapters, you see Geetha on the green, so many connections. And I've learned so much from that. But I kind of wanted to ask you, what do you think holds Juna or Arjuna back from their performance in life, and what holds someone back from jnana to vijnana?
Yeah. Arjuna's rejection, first chapter, that when you face challenge bigger than you, but what happens is your self-confidence goes. That is what you see in Bhagavan also. But that self-confidence who gives Bhagavan gives. So Lord is not changing the situation. The Lord did not go to Duryodhana and say, Arjuna is not feeling well, let us postpone the war. He said, what did he do? He changed the thinking of Arjuna. That is what. So, the confidence is there in us, but we have to invoke that. So that is what gives the confidence and courage. That's why it's called Atma Vishwas. Atma Vishwas means what? Self-confidence is the English language. But that is not the meaning. Atma means Paramatma is with me. He is watching over me. When he is watching over me, he never fails. That confidence.
Thank you.
Hari Om Swamiji, Hari Om everybody. Thank you so much for making it here, and from the bottom of our hearts. I can go on and on, but I think with the time restriction, I just want to keep it it short and brief. I'm going to talk about our journey and our experiences with Chinmaya Mission and Gurudev and Bhagavad Geeta. Growing up in India, I come from a place where Bhagavad Geeta, we call it the Kantasala. I don't know if you heard about him. Kantasala Bhagavad Geeta is something that they play when a person dies. So whenever I used to hear that, it is a very sad thing for me. And 2011, our journey started off here with Shailaja Amma. And the first thing they talk about is Bhagavad Geeta. And I said, what is there in Bhagavad Geeta? It's 18 chapters. And I finished that 18 chapters in 1 month. And I'm like thinking, why are people reading the verse all over again and again, the same verse? What is there? It took me 10 years to understand that I did not understand anything. So, but at least I got to that point where I felt I didn't understand anything. And coming to Shailaja Amma, we haven't seen God. Our Guru is like, before we came here, it was Shirdi Sai Baba and Gurudev and all. Through her, I saw God. She is the one who showed us that this is God. This is the way you got to do things. I come from a very ritualistic background where, okay, you put the deepam, you do this, and then you go to college, you come back, you do the rituals. So coming from that, and why we do what we do, wholeheartedly is what I have learned over this journey. And Shailaja Amma says always, it's the manual of life, Bhagavad Geeta. It's manual of life where you cannot try to read it towards the end of your life because you will not understand anything. You got to have it when you are young. And I would encourage all young ones, wherever I go, I always propagate about Chinmaya. That is the first thing I talk about. Because, the parents have to have that knowledge to understand how important it is for us to know that this is a very valuable asset that we have. And coming to my journey with Tanish, he started off golf. He's been a very sports guy. And there have been many failures in golf. And as a mother, it used to hurt me when I used to see him go through that failures. And some of the tournaments when he started off, he used to cry and he used to say, I'm not going to eat because I didn't perform well. And 18 holes, 18 chapters, Geetha on the green. This is my reality. I have learned to meditate over the green. Going with him each and every hole, I would visualize Tanish's hand touching the feet of Lord Shiva, and I would say, can you please give the strength to this child that he's able to hit the ball. I mean, it all started materialistically. I was selfish as a mom, but then, I realized that that's the way, visualization, I was able to see Lord Shiva in our Kaivalya very clearly. So I learned meditation over the golf course. And so many failures, we all teach our kids, you have to be successful in life, coming like Indian parents, we all want our kids to be very successful. But little do we tell them that when there are failures, this is how you have to handle. And I'm so glad that I have seen those over and over and still seeing them. But have the courage and the faith, like Swamiji has mentioned about chapter 9, that Bhagavan is with you. So constantly reminding and meditating upon that is really helping me, and I really thank everybody being part of this journey, and thank you so much. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you so much.
गुरुदेव तव महनीय कृपा गुरुदेव तव महनीय कृपा मेरे जीवन का अवलंबन है बस एक यही मेरा बल है गुरुदेव महनीय कृपा। अज्ञान भरे संशय से भरे विपरीत विचारों से भी भरे मन के अंधकार को दूर करे वचनामृत से तव बोध कृपा। गुरुदेव तव महनीय कृपा। पल पल
शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ